You're listening to Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes, the podcast where whiskey, cigars, and beard products aren't just a hobby, they're a lifestyle. Hosted by Adam, Paul, and Jerry, three guys with real experience, full beards, and even fuller glasses. Each episode serves up thoughtful tastings, laid-back cigar talk, and honest takes on beard gear and beyond. From top-shelf pours to everyday essentials, this is the place where conversations flow as smooth as the whiskey. So, pour a glass, light one up, and enjoy the ride. This is Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes.
Welcome to Bourbon, Beards, and Belvederes. I'm Adam.
And I'm Paul.
And I'm Jerry.
And today we're back with some reviews. So, we've got some cigars and whiskey and beer products to talk about today. Back to the usual grind of things. Just like always, we're starting with our palate warmers today. So my top left is Jerry. Jerry, what are you drinking?
I was going through the shelves and found one that I haven't touched in a good while. The Bernheim wheat whiskey, the 7-year-old, just classic Bernheim. Been sitting there for a while, haven't poured it, so I figured, why the hell not?
Always great. Big fan of the full proof. Some damn good stuff.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it's really good. I remember the first time that I had it, I was with you, right? It was at Happy Hour Liquor.
Oh, yeah.
Right after.
I don't remember that time. I tried it afterwards.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
That was right after it came out, and it was damn good then. It's damn good now. So, Paul, what do you got?
I grabbed a bottle out the fridge, Kentucky Creek Roundstone Rye. Had it in the fridge this weekend because I'm addicted to a new cocktail. I probably am going to pronounce it wrong, but it's called the Vucari. I think it means like old square in French. It's a New Orleans cocktail. Came across somebody on social media making one, and it sounded good and looked good. So put in an order on Old Total Swine and got some of the ingredients that I didn't have, and they delivered them to me on Friday. So this weekend I've been drinking a lot of these. It's a rye-based cocktail with cognac, sweet vermouth, and Benedictine, and they are pretty tasty. So had this one on the door of the fridge from those cocktails, so I figured I'd start with that. It's a really, really good 80 proof straight rye from Kentucky Creek out of Virginia.
Right on. Well, I went with a bottle of Old Elk. It's a bottle that I've had for a long time, and I mean 3-4 years, something like that. When I got this bottle, it was a $54 bottle. I don't know what a bottle of Old Elk costs these days because I haven't bought one in quite some time. I need to change that. When I bought this, the bourbon was the only kind that they had, and they've since released other products under the Old Elk name: wheated whiskey, full proof, single barrels, things like that. This is a blended straight bourbon whiskey coming in at 86 proof. This is the brainchild of Greg Metz. For anybody that doesn't know who that is, he was once the master distiller at Seagram's in Lawrenceburg, Indiana. He was with them for 38 years, and then he broke off and went to become the master distiller at Old Elk. I believe Old Elk is in Colorado. Is that
Yep.
right?
Yep. Fort Collins, of the northern part of Colorado.
Okay. Very cool bottle. You could use it for a hammer if you really needed to. It's got this awesome cork
That
top.
cork is probably one of the best out there.
Yeah. It looks like a piece of elk antler. It's badass. So, and I've got another bottle somewhere. And the cork topper looks different from this one. So that's cool that there's variation amongst the bottles. I'm drinking this out of a plastic cigar tube that that Paul sent to me because I didn't have another whiskey glass down here. So if Greg Metz happens to be listening, just want you to know that your whiskey's just as good out of a plastic cigar tube as it is out of a Glencairn. Thank you very much for this, sir.
And if I'm not mistaken, they have the ability, if you do a single barrel with them, to laser engrave whether it's the store logo or the group logo on top of the cork top or on top of it. I don't know if they could still do it. I'd imagine they still can, but
I would imagine they do, because this one, well, I don't know, in relative terms to still, right? This one has that laser engraving on it. But again, I've had that bottle for 3 or 4 years, so. Man, that's good. That's really good, even for a blended whiskey. It's really good, or blended bourbon, actually. That's good stuff, and who would expect anything less than good from someone that helped make some of the best whiskeys on the planet for a very long time at what's now known as Ross and Squibb, also known as MGP. On and on the names go. Good stuff. I didn't realize this until just now. Looking up the history there, he would have worked there when my grandfather did, so that's pretty cool. Nice little intersection there in my life. But this show's not about me. It's about whiskey and cigars and beer products. Are you guys ready to move on to this first pour?
I'm looking forward to it.
All right. So this first pour I sent out to these guys, sent it out some time ago, as a matter of fact. We've had a major malfunction with this damn bottle. The cork is now permanently inside the bottle. I guess it's been too long since I got into it. I thought I had another bottle around here, so I might have one upstairs. But anyway, a lot of folks have come to really recognize Rebel Yell, or Rebel as they're now called after they've caved to cancel culture. But what they don't maybe remember is when there was a specific bottle called Rebel Reserve. I don't know if you can see that there on the camera. This is batch 441, bottle number 14,302, coming in at 90.6 proof. I actually like this label better than the new one. It's got the cowboy here on his horse, and I don't know how that really relates to the whiskey or anything else. Not real worried about it. The back label here's got all these nice little tears to make it look like an old bottle of whiskey, which I think is pretty cool. It says distilled and aged by Rebel Yell Distillery in Louisville, Kentucky. Rebel Reserve is an extraordinary wheated bourbon, masterfully handcrafted in small batches and aged a little longer to give it a smoother, richer, and more refined taste. Bottled at a robust 90.6 proof to ensure its true Kentucky heritage. The distinction lies in its subtleties of golden amber color, round textured flavors, and amazingly balanced finish. An exquisite whiskey created from a time-honored Weller family recipe. Complex is a true leader among its people. So, depending on the year, I've got the lot number here. I think this is May 6th of 09, so this may have actually been distilled at Stitzel Weller. I'm not sure. I don't remember when.
The nose on it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, it's been poured, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. And when I first poured it, it was like a tart cherry with some mustiness to it. It's become like sweet now.
It's definitely got a must on it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's still
But
that's still there, but that like tart cherry turned into like I don't know, like a burnt caramel sort of deal.
Well, for the listener, they should know that this isn't like a cat pee must or like
No,
a
this
body
is
odor
Rick House.
must. This is
Rick
this
House.
is yeah. I'm definitely getting a cherry.
It's
Yeah, big time cherry, like candy cherry, sweetness. But yeah, there's that beautiful funkiness on there too.
almost getting like a peanut butter note on it.
Now the I can see the look on Paul's face right now. That on the palate there, that's a whole different animal right there, and it's still pretty fantastic. I mean I get graham cracker, I get honey. That may be because of the cigar, but what are you guys picking up?
Yeah, I get this. The graham cracker honey is perfect right on the top, but it kind of evolves into like strawberries on yellow cake.
Okay.
There's definitely that fruitiness, either cherry or strawberry, still there. There's a bright fruitiness, and I'm getting like just a yellow cake was the first thing that popped into my head. Like right when I hit the tongue, I got the graham cracker honey sweetness, but then it evolved into like more baked goods. But that fruit note just carries through from the nose to the palate big time.
Along with that, I get a very slight hint of like a dark bitter chocolate sort of deal, and then like that musty earthiness also comes through with it for me. That's a nice one. It's sweet, it's earthy, everything you want from a like a $25 bottle.
Yeah, that's
maybe
that's what it cost me. Actually, no, I take that back. I got this for $20. I'm not sure that the person that had it knew what they had, and they were just trying to get rid of it. And so I snagged that bad boy up. And now, if I ever see another one, I'll do the same.
Well, they started producing the Rebel Reserve again.
It's not
in
this
a different label. No,
yeah, it's not this.
They got a 6 year, and then I think they just have the small batch, which is a 4+ year.
Yeah, 110, 4+ year, I think it is their small batch reserve. This I'd pay $80 to $100 for, though. This is fantastic. The new Rebel Reserve, they're great. Love those pours as well. This is really damn good. Like I'm very, very surprised at how good this is. Going from the cigar to it, that strawberry cherry note kind of turns into more of a black cherry with like a little hint of chocolate I'm getting now, like Jerry had picked up.
I was going to say like a dried dark fruit.
Yeah. So it stays there, which is nice. It just kind of changes into something a little bit darker, which sometimes when we have to go from the cigar to the whiskey, it takes a note that I really like away completely. It doesn't do that at all. This cigar is I'd say medium cigar, but it's really peppery on the first third, and it's playing very, very nicely with this fruity whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
This could be up. I haven't really been keeping track of the pairings other than like the list we have, like how it works together. But this might be up there with one of the better ones that we've had.
Mm-hmm. So I got a little thing that I want you guys to do when it comes to the cigar and the whiskey. You guys still have some of the whiskey left? I saw Paul just pour some. Okay. So I want you to take a hit of the cigar while you have a little bit of the whiskey left in your mouth. Like if you got too much liquid in your mouth, right, it's gonna block out some of the. So I want you to kind of swallow a little bit, but take a hit of the cigar while you're swallowing. While you got a bit, it reminds me of a toasted graham coffee, a Starbucks toasted graham coffee. And it's not that's not like a pumpkin spice latte or any of that bullshit. This is an actual coffee that they make. You can buy them in the Keurig pods at Kroger. That's what I get here, and it's just
wow. I could see that graham. It almost comes off as like a pretzel to me. That pretzel graham cracker style.
Okay. And it's been a minute since I've been in this bottle.
That bottle wouldn't last long in my house, trust me.
Well,
That's a damn good bottle.
there's a reason why I've not gotten into it very much. I've had this bottle for a couple years, and there's still this much left in there, which means that there's this much left for the three of us to enjoy. It's I'm just gonna have to put it back down there and forget about it because I forgot how good it is.
Well, you can't forget about it yet. You got to fix the cork first, then forget about it.
Well, there's that.
Because if you forget about it without that cork, it's going to get all fucked.
Yeah, you're right. I'm gonna have to find some more of those too. I'm sure there's still some floating around here. So that's a damn good bottle right there.
Yeah, that's going to be tough to beat. We're kind of going to be doing kind of a side by side with what our assumption is very similar mash bills. We'll get to the next one here in a few, but I didn't really think that was going to stand up as well to be our first one. I thought we just were trying to find one to kind of go side by side with the second one that we're going to talk about here soon, but this is going to be hard to beat.
Yeah, I'm not so sure that the second one is gonna blow our skirt up quite as high as this one did, to be honest with you.
I haven't had the second one yet.
It's really good. I don't think that it's as good as its big brothers, personally.
Yep, I agree, and I've had it maybe twice, I think, and I don't remember being like blown away. So
that's what I keep hearing.
Which this one is kind of blowing me away a little bit. So let's see, different setting, different time. Didn't have it before with a cigar. I think I did. I send samples out to you guys on this next one.
Yeah. Not me. I have a bottle.
Oh, that's right.
I think one of you guys sent me a sample. I think I had a pour because this thing was overflowing when I opened the top. So yeah, it was you.
Yeah, I think I had a pour when I bought the bottle, and then I had another pour when I was sending you a sample, and I think that's the only time I've touched it. Both times I remember being good and wasn't disappointed with the purchase because it's a great looking bottle. The presentation is fantastic. Comes in a nice bag, which everybody likes bag, and but I don't remember being like wow about it. So we'll see. We will see. We're going to get into that next one. I'm ready for it.
Yeah. Sure. Go for it.
All right. So the next one is going to be the Old Fitgerald 7-year bottle and bond out of Heaven Hill. This is the I guess the newest expression. Yeah, Adam's holding it up right there. Nice looking decanter style bottle, kind of just like a normal bottle on the base, but then it kind of flares into that decanter style up at the top. Cool looking cork, and if you grab it at the right store, you get that nice green velvet bag that says Old Fitz on it, which is a nice little presentation piece. There, he's got that right there. Nice cool green color. The golden embroidery and golden tassels. So it's well worth the couple extra bucks for the presentation. I want to say it's like $70-ish, 65, 70, I think is MSRP. I wouldn't have paid much more than that, so probably right around there is what I paid. And we don't exactly know the Rebel mash bill because they didn't disclose the mash bill when it was the old Rebel Reserve. The new Rebel is 68-20-12, which is what this is. So that's kind of why we want to do a side-by-side. The old one that we just tasted could have been a different one, but I know there's tons of press releases from Rebel saying that, they're using the same mash bill since 1849 and stuff. So my assumption is that old Rebel had the 68-20-12. They just didn't disclose it until recently with the kind of the rebrand with the newer labels that they have. But it could have been a different mash bill, but at least we're going with the assumption that it's a similar, if not the same mash bill as this Heaven Hill 68 corn, 20 wheat, 12 malted barley, which is the Larceny mash bill. So let's get into it. I got it all poured up. I'm ready to see how it holds up coming from that one.
Right off,
there's definitely similarities.
You say that?
I said right off. I mean, yes, similarities, but disappointment.
Yeah, see, I was hoping for that that red fruit. I'm getting more of like a white fruit, like maybe it's not like a citrus, maybe like a peach or an apricot. Just a hint of enough fruitiness that you can kind of smell it's there, but it's like underwhelming coming from that bright red strawberry or cherry that I was getting on the Rebel. But then there's the leather and oak, maybe a cinnamon touch in there on the nose.
Yeah, I get a cherry on this one. The Rebel was more of that sweet. I don't want to say maraschino cherry, but more of that sweet cherry with that strawberry. This one's more of like a darker cherry, and then I get more of a honey note on this one than the Rebel. And then, as you were saying it, I started getting like a lemon spritz, lemon peel kind of note on there. Going back and forth with the nose though, the Rebel one is like heavy caramel, heavy cherry, that fruitiness. It's almost like a caramel covered cherry or strawberry versus the Old Fitz, which is just kind of it's not like what's the word, like mingled together well. Like it's all separate things. The Rebel is like one cohesive note.
Yeah, for sure. The nose was.
There's more punchiness on this Old Fitz too.
Yeah. That might have to do with the age, right? We don't really know the age on the other. I would guess between 4 and 6 years. This is a 7-year age stated. The nose was. I got some of those notes, but it's the palates where the real change hit for me. Straight cinnamon. I mean, it was just. And then with the cigar, I gotta wait. I gotta put the cigar to the side and wait for that to go away so that I can go back to the whiskey and finish it. It just did not. It's not going to work for me.
Yeah, I agree. I did the same. I went straight from the cigar to the taste of this, and it was baking spices.
Oh,
maybe a little hint of that graham cracker, which I was probably pulling from the previous one because it was familiar. But it was just that baking spices and graham cracker. I let it sit. I did a palate cleanse with some water. Went back to it. It's better now. It's not coming from the cigar. I'm getting the same graham cracker, vanilla, honey. I'm getting a touch of citrus on this one, which I kind of got on the nose. Some kind of weird light fruit. I'm getting a little bit of almost like an orange citrus in the front of this one, but it's pretty much baking spice. Graham cracker is kind of the tasting that I would take away from this overall. I'm searching hard to pull anything else out. The finish is nice though. It's like it tastes old, for lack of a better term. I'm getting leather and oak kind of on the finish a little bit. It doesn't finish.
Yeah, it has nice sweet oak on the finish.
Yeah.
A little bit of cinnamon.
Well though, there's no fruit on the finish as there was on the Rebel. I'm not getting that citrus or light white fruit carrying through at all to the finish, which I would love to find, but not finding that yet.
Yeah, and that can cracking was Jerry's resounding agreement with us that he also did not carry. He needed the palate cleanser as well.
A nice little lemon seltzer to cleanse the palate.
That's what I got. I got a lemon electrolyte juice mixed with some club soda. So I kind of made my own lemon seltzer.
Lemon seltzer is perfect for a palate cleanser.
Yep, exactly. And
but yeah, it's
definitely better.
It's not a bad.
Not with the cigar. I think it's better not with the cigar.
Oh yeah, with the cigar, we'll get into the cigar here in a minute, which has been fantastic. But both of them, it's a spice bomb. That cinnamon peppery spice bomb, which sounds like it'd be good, but it's not in a good way. By itself, the Old Fitz isn't bad. You start factoring in that $65, $70 price range, and in the fact that everyone's going crazy over it because it's the little brother of the big decanter series. And I was always wondering if the $150 price difference or whatever it is between the 9-year and the 7-year was actually worth it. And from what I remember from that 9-year decanted, like the big boy versus this one, I would say it's definitely worth it. Now, is it worth the what $300-400 that secondary? No, not at all. But if you could find it for that, what, 130, 150, whatever they were going for, I'm grabbing that over this $70 bottle all day. It's just too much cinnamon notes, too much baking spices. Not enough. Like Paul said, I'm still getting lemon even before I cracked open this seltzer. Like lemony, citrusy note in there. It's just, I wish that popped a little bit more. That would help out. It's just, curious if we went Old Fitz then the Rebel, if there was any difference in our tones, but that Rebel is definitely just it's the mouthfeel is great. It's that buttery mouthfeel, the velvety mouthfeel. It tastes great. This one's just spice for the most part.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't dislike the whiskey.
No.
But it's not one that I will drink while smoking a cigar.
At least
sure.
Not this cigar.
Maybe like a Connecticut.
Yeah. We could revisit this down the road for sure. But that pairing for real tasted like I stuck my face on the spice rack and just started inhaling things in my mouth. And I very much cinnamon forward. Although I doubt that. Yep, I doubt very seriously if the fine folks at Heaven Hill are thinking about cigar smokers whenever they're making this whiskey. I like that what they've done is create this and make these higher end Old Fitz more accessible, because those 10, 12, 15-year-old bottles in those super awesome decanters are incredibly hard to come by. That's my only gripe, is that they changed the bottle style. I wish that they would have left these in those decanter styles. That might drive the price up a little bit. I don't know. Who knows? I guess they know. But it's I think it's worth grabbing a bottle. The presentation's awesome. The liquid is fantastic. Of course, it just didn't work out with the cigar. So,
yeah, I think 7-year might not be the sweet spot for this proof. I wonder if they're going to do like they do with the other decanters and other expressions, where they go, next year is going to be the Old Fitz 8-year release, Old Fitz 9-year, if that's their plan, because I'd like to see how this one evolves. At this proof, I don't think it works. I almost think I'd rather have it at 5 years or like 9 years, to be honest, to kind of before that cinnamon comes in or after it kind of ages out. I tend to get that cinnamon note right around that 6-year mark is a lot. I'm thinking more like Wild Turkey and Jim Beam, where I get that cinnamon note like that 6-7 year mark, and it's good. I like the cinnamon profile, but this one's kind of a little much. Yeah. And like I said, it could just be with the cigar, because even palate cleansing and going back, I am smoking a cigar. It's hard to, I'd have to start tomorrow with no cigar and give it another review to give it a fair assessment. But I did say I had this twice before and it didn't pop to me. So I think if we're going side by side, I went back to the Rebel, and the Rebel still has that fruit note, even coming from the Fitz, and the Rebel's the winner for me.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which they're probably both going to be priced similarly. If you can find that old Rebel label that we're talking about, it's probably going to be marked up to around the 70 to 90 mark, which is what you're going to probably find this Fitz for. So apples to apples, if you had them both, I'd go for the Rebel, to be honest. But Fitz ain't bad. It's I think the presentation's better than the liquid in the bottle, to be honest, for me. But I am also slightly biased because Heaven Hill has never been a profile that I really flocked to. So
yeah, it's same for me.
Yeah, I like Heaven Hill, but I can't say that it's going to win out over this Rebel. And I think anybody that were to sit down and compare these two, would agree with that. Even folks that love Heaven Hill profiles, which I wouldn't say that I love it, but I like it. I have a whole lot of, Heaven Hill products here in the house, and I like every one of them. I don't love every one of them. That being said, again, I have to reiterate that I'm not going to pick this one over this Rebel. Just not going to happen.
Now we're gonna have to. I have a bottle, and so do you. But maybe Jerry, I'll send you another sample if you've already killed through yours. We might have to just revisit in a future episode just some quick palate warmer instead of making an episode about it. But let's go. This fits versus the $25-$30 bottle of the new Rebel Reserve small batch and see how that holds up, because I have a faint suspicion that I think our views might be the same.
It would be nice if it were comparable, right? The old and the new, if they were very, very similar or the same even.
I don't think they are the same. I think they're comparable.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I think they're comparable though, and I think I don't know. I really like the new Rebel profile on all of their products. So for me, I'd probably, if I was a betting man, I think I'd probably like that $30 bottle over this $70 Old Fitz. But that's something we might have to throw in a little 5-minute, quickie to start a show in the next couple of weeks or something, just to see where we're at.
I think we can.
I don't know about you, Paul, but I still have a little bit left of the Rebel left in the sample bottle.
I do too. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to leave that right out here in this shed so I don't take it inside and drink it.
And then I still have, I don't know, 1.25 ounces of the Old Fitz that'll hold on to as well.
Adam, you got the bottle of each of those. So yeah, let's do that here in the next week or two. Maybe for the first couple minutes of an episode, let's throw in the new one, the new Rebel, the old Rebel, and this one. Just do a little 5-minute quick taste showdown on these three. I'm just curious because they're all, if not the same mash bill, very similar mash bills. Very similar.
You talking about the new Rebel Reserve?
Yep, just the Rebel Reserve.
The small batch or whatever?
Small batch Reserve, just the shelfer. $35 maybe, $30 depending on where you're at. I'm sure we all probably have a bottle of it. If not, I know I do. I can send you guys samples so you don't have to grab a bottle just for that. But it'd be a little quick 5-minute 1, 2, 3, see what we think, just real quick impression of it. I'm thinking it's going to surprise some people listening that hold this Old Fitz to some high regard, that pretty sure that $35 bottle is going to come out on top for me. But who knows? We'll see.
I'm looking it up right now on Total Wine at least, and they do not have it here. But Liquor Barn might. I can always go look there.
I know I have a bottle inside, so
I got some of the was 80 proof and 100, but I don't have anything else from them.
I think it's a small batch reserve, isn't it? 110.
I think so.
Wrong. Either way, I
think
have,
it's 110.
Yeah, I got some samples to send out, so I'll throw that in. It'll just be a quick little nice revisit to see, because I don't want to trash or shit on this Old Fitz, but when there's other stuff out there, I think that's what we want to highlight. That you could get 2 or 3 bottles of something different, for the same price.
For me, I think that's what it is. Being $65-$70, there's a bunch out there for the same price, maybe $5 more, and there's a hell of a lot cheaper that I'm pulling first for something like this.
And you got to find it, because I see this green bag sitting on shelves in a lot of stores around me for close to 100. Because it looks pretty and it says Old Fitz on it. So
yeah, and everyone's going crazy over it.
Yeah. I grabbed it when I first saw it at one of the better liquor stores I shop at, and I think I paid MSRP or right around there. That's the only reason I would have bought it, because like I said, I don't really jump for Heaven Hill products unless I've tasted them. But this one was one I've been looking to try, so grabbed it and not mad at it. Looks good on the shelf at least. But other than that, I think I definitely prefer the Rebel to it. But we'll see. See how it holds up. Put it up against a couple different things and go from there. But I wouldn't recommend it with with the cigar that we're smoking or anything in this style.
Yeah. We are, to get into the cigar real quick, we are smoking the from Warp Cigars, their La Hacienda. It's a medium strength cigar. All the websites say medium strength, and I'd agree with that. Maybe a little bit fuller in taste profile, but for body, it's definitely medium strength. We are smoking the Gran Robusto, which is a 5.5 by 52. The wrapper type is a Nicaraguan shade-grown Jalapa Corojo 99, just a Nicaraguan binder, and then the filler is the Nicaraguan Corojo 99 along with the Carrillo 98, and then it has a Colorado wrapper shade. I picked these up off of Neptune Cigars for about $9. I think they range between $9 and $11. But for me, it's been smoking great. It's a little bit of a tight draw for me right now. It's starting to loosen up as it burns. The first couple puffs were a straight spice bomb, black pepper, red pepper, every type of pepper that you could think of, right to the dome. It was a spicy bitch to start out. Over the first third, it definitely started dialing back on the pepper spice. I'm probably just getting into that second third, and that pepper spice is definitely at a nicer, I guess, heat level, almost like a white pepper, not as pungent. But as it's smoking, it's definitely evolved. I'm curious to see how the rest of the cigar goes, because that first bite was spice and coffee for me, which is why with that Old Fist with that cinnamon bacon spices on there, it did not go well. But the cigar itself, other than it being a little bit tight for me, I don't know how it is for you guys. I got a nice even burn line. Went out once just because I lit it and then put it down. But construction is great. I've had no issues with other than that one relight.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, same notes on the first third. That first puff was just pepper spice. It reminded me of like the old Pizza Hut pepper shaker, the old red pepper flakes back when you were a kid. You just douse on there. It was a spice bomb. I mean, my lips were tingly. My throat was, felt the pepper spice in a good way. I mean, I like that. It just took me kind of by surprise slightly. That's still there through the first third, but it definitely mellows out. Getting more leather, the black pepper's still there, coffee, a lot of dark notes, maybe a little bit of nuttiness coming through, a little bit. I don't know if that's coming from the whiskeys or
that nuttiness is definitely coming through more in that second third or towards the end of that first third.
Yeah, great construction. Cigar feels nice, got some nice give to it. It's a little bit of a tight draw in spots, and as I kind of squeeze on it, I feel some loose spots and some tight spots in the cigar. That's probably why. Maybe a little construction type of, not issue, I would say, but for me, I mean, I don't know if it's just because I'm yapping or what, but I've had to relight like 3 times, and I'm barely into the second third. So that's my only, critique of it, I guess, is it's not staying lit for me as much as I'd like to. But I really like it for $9, and it's a nice cigar and real spicy. I almost think we picked probably the better whiskeys we could go for, going with like a wheat whiskeys that we chose just by dumb luck, maybe, or Jerry, if you have that in mind. But I think this with a spicy pie might not go so great. So I think this is a good pairing. It just wasn't the greatest with that Fitz for me, but it went good with the Rebel. So
it went good with the Bernheim as well. And I've never smoked this one before. This is the first warped cigar I've had. But I had an idea looking into it, and then obviously when you buy it, it has notes on what they get. So I kind of had an idea of what it would be, but wasn't expecting that spice bomb. But when I was looking into it, it is one of the things that they go for is kind of like the old school, like Cuban style, and Cuban cigars are a little bit more tightly wrapped, so that might be the reason why it's a little bit tighter draw. But Yeah. Adam, what do you think about it?
It's definitely got a tight draw on it. Definitely got that spice, and 100% agree that it didn't necessarily. It went well with the Rebel, did not go well with the Old Fitz. It is what it is. I'm just now starting the second, third. It's only gone out one time. It is well constructed, nice, even burn line, even when I had to relight it. And, that's surprising because I have sat here and talked quite a bit, and it only went out the one time. There was one time when I thought it was out, and it turns out that it wasn't. For the price, it's definitely a great cigar, but I do like it. I do like my cigars rolled just a little bit looser. I mean, you're going to get your money's worth out of this thing for the amount of time that it takes you to smoke it, but at the same time, I appreciate a cigar that doesn't give me a headache trying to smoke it. So, it's great for what it is. Just don't smoke it with an Old Fitgerald.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying now. But I like it. So I think we got one more pour. Want to get that poured up, and we did review a beard product this week too. So if we want to jump into that real quick while you guys are getting poured up with this pours on me. This week we got some beard oil samples from a company called the Longhairs. This company, it has a big presence online. It's a big company. It's not a small company, which we kind of tend to do a lot of small companies. This is a major brand. They really focus on people with long hair, hence the name. Not necessarily long beard hair, but long hair on their heads. They've been on Shark Tank. They make hair bands and hair ties for guys. It's kind of like their tagline. They're a little bit wider, so they say it doesn't leave like a crease in your hair as far as just a normal hair tie like that my daughter has and things like that, just like the rubber band style ones. They got some cool features. I mean, I haven't had long hair since I was, 17 years old, so I wouldn't be able to really speak on the hair ties and things like that, but they have a big laundry list of products for hair care. One of them happened to be some beard oils, which caught my eye when I stumbled upon this company. So I figured, hey, they're a large company, obviously doing well with all of their other hair care products. Let's try the beard oil and see how they hold up. And I wish I would have done a little bit more digging when I ordered these oils, because when I was just getting some specifics off this brand today for this show, I stumbled across that they collaborated with Hacienda Spirits for their 10-year anniversary. They released a bourbon collab, which is a 2-year straight bourbon at 90 proof for $65. It's Hacienda Spirits, from what I can tell, is a spirit company, or I don't know if they're sourcing or what, but don't know much about them, but they're out of California, which is where Longhairs is based out of. 2-year straight bourbon at 90 proof for $65. I would have liked to maybe grab a bottle of that just to try that out while we're talking about this company, but didn't know about it until this afternoon. So maybe we'll have that on in the future and see what that tastes like. But
maybe we reach out to them and see if they'll come on, and maybe they have some samples they want to send our way. Yeah,
that'd be great. Jerry, you got some hair under that hat, so maybe you can try out some of their other products.
I was looking at a couple of their products. They got a clarifying shampoo. They got some other shampoo and conditioners that are out of stock right now. Like Paul said, the hair bands. They also have what do they call it? It's like a bandana without like the top, like a hair. If I could actually find the websites. There it is. It's a headband. There you go. Kind of like a sweatband, but a little bit larger. Keeps the head back. It's cool. When I was looking at their stuff, they do a lot with a charity. I don't know if you guys looked that up or saw it, but they have a thing where it says "Long Hairs Do Care." And they partner up with children with hair loss. And 1% of their revenue, not their net profit, the revenue, they donate And since 2014, which is when they started, they've donated over $100,000 to children with hair loss. So that's about 18 cents per bottle of beard oil. I don't know the prices off the top of my head of because beard oil was 18 bucks for the 1 ounce oil. I don't know how much the other products were, but 1% of every basically purchase goes towards that organization. And then they also run a thing called the Great Cut. Started in 2019. They did it again in 2024. So last year, where it's basically the biggest hair donation event in the world. And then last year, in 2019, when it started, they had 349 in-person donations. So basically, it was in San Diego. They had 349 people there with their long hair, and they cut it off. Over 1,100 mail-in donations for a total of 339.14 pounds of hair donations for the children with hair loss. And then last year, they had 452 in-person, 790 mail-in for a total of 219.36 pounds of hair donated. They're looking to do it again in 2030 if they get enough support. So it's a cool little thing. Then they have a charity ball where they bring in some of the families with their kids so they could all hang out together and meet each other so they could maybe don't feel as insecure with their hair loss, however it's coming about. They meet other children that way. So without actually knowing until the other day when I was looking into this product, it actually fits kind of our theme with the charities and children. It doesn't really do veterans, but does the children's charities. So that's a cool little thing. And I don't know, maybe for the next 5 years, I'll grow this out and then head on over to San Diego and get it cut. I don't know. This is about as long as I like to get. It gets too crazy. I don't know. Maybe if I get some of their hair bands or something, it'll help out. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I mean, it looks like a great company. All their products look to be good quality. They're all reasonably priced. Like Jerry said, these oils are 18 bucks for an ounce, which is pretty much industry standard around for oils. And they come in these cool little aluminum screw top bottles. Yeah. So no plastics or anything like that, which I like a lot when I got these. And the oils that I got, well, first, the ingredients are great, and that's why when I came across them, I had to check the ingredients first, and they were what we're looking for. So there's apricot oil, virgin organic avocado oil, golden organic jojoba oil, virgin organic argan nut oil, extra virgin organic pumpkin seed oil, virgin rosehip oil, vitamin E oil, organic sweet almond oil, grapeseed oil, and fragrances. And cruelty-free, 75 bucks, free shipping. And it says right on the bottle, 1% for the kids. So, good company from what we could tell. And for me, good oils. I've been using them used them when I sent these samples out for a couple days to check them out, try the scents. And then when we decided we were going to have them on this week, I've been using them for the last couple days and very pleased with them. They have 4 fragrance profiles for the oils. They're called Cedar Trail, Birch Glen, High Desert, and the Grasslands. High Desert and Grasslands were the 2 that I picked to send out samples to the guys. For me, the Grasslands, I like the scent the best. The oils were great. I really like the oils. My consistency, perfect, not too thin, not too thick, not greasy at all. Absorbs well. Nothing bad to say about the oil itself. The scents, the Grassland one which I liked. It's how they describe it on their website is fresh and springy. It's a fresh blend of lemon and vetiver united with sandalwood, like drifting through a field of tall, fragrant grasses, licking your fingertips, reminiscent of that scene in Gladiator, which is a great description. Like not just giving the scents, kind of giving you a little, your mind goes to him walking through that field, touching that tall grass. At least it did for me. But it's got a great scent too. I mean, it's not overpowering, but just super pleasant floral, scent. I really, really like this scent a lot. The High Desert. Well, first we'll get into the other ones. The other ones, the Birch Glen, which we didn't try, was birch influenced by a zest of mandarin, cardamom, black pepper, jasmine. And the cedar trail is a mingling of cedarwood, oak moss with bergamot, wild ferns, and lavender. The one that we also tried other than the grasslands was the high desert, which they describe as floral and pungent, which we'll come back to that in a second, that word. They describe it as cactus flower fused with bergamot, fresh white flowers, green cactus, coconut, and soft woods, like approaching the sweet smell and cool waters of an oasis in the high desert. Those scents sounded fantastic when I ordered. That's why I picked these 2 scents out of the 4. I don't really get anything, to be honest, on this high desert scent. I'm smelling the bottle right now with the oil in it. I still got about a third of this bottle left. And I put this one on yesterday. I think I used the grasslands today. This one I used yesterday. I applied it twice, I believe. I really don't get a strong scent. I kind of just get like an oil scent, like you would get just with like an olive oil or just like a base oil. Not a bad scent, but I don't get any kind of fragrant scent off of it, which is not a bad thing. Doesn't smell bad. Oil works good. I just much prefer the grassland scent because there is like that floral, scent that's very appealing. So, what do you guys think? Did you guys get a chance to try these?
Yeah. I'm going to mimic exactly what you said about the high desert. It had more of just a base oil scent, almost like a unscented version. So that's what I put in today. I put it in yesterday. Didn't really get much else out of that one. The grasslands is the one that I liked a lot. For me, it was like a nice, clean, floral cologne style scent with a little bit of like a vanilla undertone. It absorbs real quick, like you said. Probably one of the quicker ones to absorb. I don't know if that was just that day that I realized it or what, but the skin underneath the beard feels fantastic. The beard itself feels great. I wish the scent lasted a little bit longer. For me, it was about maybe 4 hours with the grasslands, which is all right. I typically like that 4 to 6, but and then I also wish they had a little bit more beard products, balms, butters, something along those lines. But again, this is more of a hair company that decided to do a beard oil, so maybe eventually they'll come out with it. And like Paul said, it was $75 free ship. Oh, over $75, it's free shipping. Otherwise, I want to say it's like roughly like $5 for shipping. I put a couple things in the cart. It was like $4.99 or something like that. So great price there, especially coming from California, San Diego, wherever they are, over to the East Coast. That's great price. Yeah, I've had no issue with them. I've liked it a lot. I just wish that high desert had some scent profile to it.
Yeah, agreed. I didn't get much off of what was it called again? The Desert Winds or
High desert.
High desert.
High desert. I did like the products. Great at what's the word I'm looking for? Moisturizing my beard. Didn't clog my pores. Didn't make my face hurt. Scent wasn't overpowering. Great charity that they've got going on there. Really appreciate that about them. Everybody knows that we're big on helping out kids, so I really appreciate that. I can't see any reason not to support this company and not to try out more of their products. So that is something that I'm looking forward to doing more of is trying out more of these products down the road, and seeing what they've got to offer.
Yeah, totally agree. It's the longhairs.us if you want to check them out. Like I said, especially if you got medium to long hair, there's a ton of products on there for you. But at the very least, if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have some stubble on your face. So check out these oils. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how they feel, how they work, and like Adam said, I mean, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't support a company like this. I mean,
Yeah,
all natural ingredients. They're supporting kids, and and not just like on paper. I mean, like Jerry said, they're doing events and balls and hair donations and everything else. So it's not just a gimmick. It's something that they've kind of based their company around. Which, if the oils sucked, I'd still want to support a company like that. So just the added benefit that these oils are pretty awesome. So it's a new company on my radar, even though they're a huge company. It's kind of new to my radar for the products and the company. So be looking out for more stuff from them, definitely.
The one thing that I noticed with that, the bottles weren't a dropper top or a reducer top, was it? It was just unscrew it and it's open.
Yep, they're nice stain or aluminum bottles. Just unscrew, they're open. Yeah. Which I'd like a dropper top, but I mean, we've had so many oils, and most people with beards have. Save your dropper top. I have a little medicine cup, like from my kids' Tylenol. I just have that in my little beard oil drawer, and I have just a generic dropper that I just leave in there so it doesn't drip anywhere. And if the oil doesn't have a dropper top, I have a dropper top in my drawer. So I mean, it's very easy to do. There's a lot of companies out there that sell just droppers anyway for like $2-3 you can add to your cart. So while I do prefer a company that has a dropper top on the top, if it doesn't, I mean, we're not rookies to this game. We all got droppers that we can use. Especially for longer beards, I definitely recommend a dropper so you can get that oil closer to your skin and then rub it through. People with shorter beards don't necessarily need that. You just put it in your hand and kind of rub it through with your fingertips. But I do like these bottles, these aluminum bottles, no plastic, no glass, worrying about breaking and dropping them. These are really cool bottles. I was surprised when I opened them up because I don't think they have a picture of they do. I didn't notice that. I don't think when I ordered it, but they do have a picture of the bottle on the website. But yeah, these are cool products.
Yeah, I'll definitely be, if nothing else, grabbing that Grasslands just to kind of help support it. And then probably won't do a hair tie, but maybe one of their headbands or something, depending on what their the styles look like. There was a few on there that I was looking at. So
yeah, and the hair ties are cool looking. They're like thicker than you would normally think. They're almost like kind of look like a shoelace, if you want to picture that as a hair tie. So they're flatter, and that I think the whole goal is so it doesn't like leave creases in your hair when you put your hair up and do like some kind of ponytail.
Yeah,
whatever you do.
They're supposed to be anti-snag or anti-pull. And then I read somewhere on the website that they have like an 80-pound like breaking strength or something like that. So these things supposedly aren't gonna break.
Yeah, and I think it's like,
I know every girl has those little thin hair ties that they get that are rubber band style, and they snap by just looking at them. But these things, and they got sweet designs on them. So
yeah, very
cool. Someone with
designs.
longer hair, definitely take a look at them. And they're $12 for
3-pack
for one of them, and they got a little thing going on. Buy 3. Oh, hold on, it's packs. Hold on, I didn't look into this, but
pretty sure there were 3-packs for $12. I think you get a couple of
buy 3 packs, get 1 free, and they come in a 4-pack.
Yeah, so not expensive at all. And
so you buy 12 of them for what, $36, and you get 4 free. So
yeah, and they're really cool designs. They're not just, I mean, you can get just flat black, flat white, different colors, just flat, but they got all kinds of cool. They got a bandana print. They got something that looks like, it says the Lock Monsters. It's like almost looks like a kilt style print, like green and black, like plaid. Different ones with, there's one here. It looks like the barrel of a tank. Football design. Tons of designs. Just about anything you can ask for. So if you are a person who is, breaking through hair ties all the time, which, that is a foreign topic for me, but it sounds like this is good quality, good product that's going to last you. You might have to make one purchase and you're good to go, unless you want some different designs. Doesn't sound like they're going to break too easy, and they're going to last for a while. And they do have tutorials on here too, on like how to clean your hair ties, how to style your hair, all kinds of stuff. So it's a really full website with a lot of different resources. So a bunch of different accessories, brushes, things like that. Tons of apparel. So their logo is really cool. It's like a hair tie with looks like a pair of like barber shears up through the middle, almost simulating kind of like a cross. I don't know if that was their intent, but that's the kind of vibe I get.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Like I said, I'd never heard of them. They popped up on my feed. I think I ignored them at first because it looked like just hair company, and then I decided to check into them to see if they had anything for us, and they did. So I'm pleased. I grabbed some of these oils and we tried them out. But that being said, I keep sniffing this. This pours on me, which Adam was kind enough to send us out, and it smells fantastic. I'm going to get into this one and finish this one up with a nice pour, and I'm hoping that it tastes as good as it smells.
It's pretty good. I won't lie. I just happened to come across this bottle, and they had it discounted by about $20. So I couldn't not pick it up. I hadn't before because I'd always seen it at about $104, something like that. I'm going to go ahead and look it up while I'm on online just to see what it is. Why is this? For some reason, Total Wine has me in Sarasota, and I can promise you I am not in Sarasota. That might be why I couldn't find the Rebel Reserve earlier. Probably is. It's also not available here, so I guess I just got really lucky. Yeah, I don't remember where I got it. It is a 12-year-old 100 proof sourced. We've looked up to see where it might be sourced from. We found some mixed information. It may be Heaven Hill, it may be Barton. We thought this might be somewhat comparable to the others that we've had on today, if it is indeed Heaven Hill. Regardless, this is Kentucky Par. Again, coming in at 12 years old, 100 proof. Pretty damn good whiskey. I got about half the bottle left. That's after sending out samples and what I've drank myself. So let me pass it off to the guys and see how they're feeling about it.
I mean, I love the label. The label is just so old school, simplistic. This bottle looks awesome to me. I'd almost rather have this on the shelf than that old Fitzgerald one that we just had. It's just such a cool, it just looks like an old bottle. Just very simplistic label. Yeah, on the nose, it's bourbon. I mean, caramel bomb for me on the nose. Hint of spice in there, like a baking spice, but I mean, it's just overwhelmingly caramel. It tastes like, nose is like a, one of them little square caramel chews. I remember I used to love those as a kid. The little cellophane wrapper, you take one bite and it's stuck all up in your teeth, and you spend the next 5 minutes just trying to chew it out of your teeth. That's exactly what it smells like.
I still like those.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of a fruitiness in there. I can't pinpoint what it is. It's very slight behind all that caramel. But yeah, it just has that quintessential bourbon nose on it.
Yeah, it's bourbon. That's for sure. So, I get some leather, definitely get that caramel. I think what I'm getting as far as fruit goes is an apple, green apple. Get a little bit of a caramel apple type situation going on there. For 100 proof, it's got quite the nose. I tend to like my bourbons a little higher proof. This one, luckily, is just high enough proof that you get all that nose without all the ethanol just shocking you. And it is a 12-year-old whiskey, so there's going to be a lot going on, right? So let's go ahead and dive into it and see how you guys feel about the palate.
Yeah, that green apple note that you picked on the nose that I wasn't getting. I think right when you said it, I was taking my first sip, and boom, I mean, that's it.
Right on the tip of the tongue.
Yep, you're at a fair. You go up and grab that, crunchy caramel coating on that green apple on a wooden stick. I mean, that's boom. That's this. That's fantastic. And then, yeah, I mean, it's that burnt sugar. There's that fruitiness. It's bright, like a green apple. There's a ton of spiciness on it, but it's not overwhelming like cinnamon spice like we were getting on the other one. It's just perfect complement to that sweetness. Creamy mouthfeel.
That finish just lingers too.
Yeah, definitely. Just a creamy, oily finish. There's that leather oakiness kind of that comes in on the finish that almost kind of tells your brain that this is probably an older whiskey if you're doing it blind. No, this is damn good. And how much you say you paid for this? Right around 100?
I paid $80.
Yeah,
Picked it up.
This is a buy. This is definitely a buy for me. This is fantastic.
Yeah, it's.
I don't think this is Heaven Hill though. I think we were going back and forth. It's undisclosed where they're sourcing from. I think the original Kentucky Par brand, we pretty much determined that it was definitely coming from Bernheim. They bought the original bottles of Bernheim. I've read some article. I don't think they're getting this. I think this, like some people had said, it's Barton. I'd probably have to put my check mark in that category that this is probably coming from Barton over Heaven Hill. But either way, this is fantastic whiskey.
I'd be interested to put this up against the 12-year 1792.
Mm-hmm.
We can make that happen because there's one of those right there. So
what's the proof on that on the 1792?
100.
Is it?
This one's on as well, right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, on the Kentucky Par you said, or on the 17? You said 1792. I'm sorry.
1792 is higher than 100, right?
Yeah, it is. No, it's 96.6.
Oh,
yeah, it's not too far off.
That's perfect side by side. We should try that because I'd be definitely willing to bet that this is Barton and not Heaven Hill. That'd be a good comparison to do that 12-year versus this 12-year with our educated guesses saying they're probably from the same distillery. That'd be a good side by side.
Well, we can do a little
side
by side right damn now, guys.
I'm not for me in Heaven Hill, I get like a dirty peanut. Think of like when you go to like the steakhouse where they used to let you throw the peanut shells on the floor. Like you took a handful of that peanut shells and ate it. Like that's what I usually get off Heaven Hill, which is probably why I don't like it.
By the way, Texas Roadhouse still does that. So yeah,
not around here. They can't because of peanut allergies.
Oh my God!
You can still eat peanuts, but you can't throw them on the floor.
Oh no!
But this one, I'm not getting that. I'm getting more of like that apple hits up front with that caramel, but the finish for me, the apple transitions to like that almost black cherry, dark cherry note that I get on some 1792s.
Yeah, I'm going to say in my very rudimentary side-by-side that I've done just now that it is, in fact, Barton. Just by, tasting it next to the Barton 1792. I got to say, though, that the Barton 1792 does seem to be a bit more refined than the Kentucky Par does. That's not. I don't want to say refined. I think subtle is probably the better way to put it. It's probably the extra 3.5 proof points, giving the Kentucky Par a little bit more oomph, a little more shock to your palate. But the flavor profiles are very, very, like almost undeniably similar. So I'll make sure to get some of that out to you guys here pretty soon. Get you guys out some more of this super delicious Rebel Reserve. So if you guys want to go ahead and finish up your samples, feel free. And we'll try that.
Yeah, no, and I didn't get that cherry note that Jerry was bringing up that I do get on a lot of Barton products on my first go round, but then I went from the cigar to it. And I don't know if it was power suggestion that Jerry just
might have been
fucked me, or if I was from the cigar. But I'm definitely getting that cherry note on the finish now.
It might be from the cigar because I didn't get it the first sip or two that I took, and then I went to the cigar and went back to it, and that's when the finish came cherry. So it might have something to do with the cigar.
So
that being said, the cigar and this Kentucky Par, great pairing.
I would say 100%. I mean, if you're starting out with green apple caramel, finishing with cherry, I mean that you can't get much better for me than that.
No,
that's fantastic.
Yeah. I think about the only flavor profile that I like any better than that is that of the toasted graham that we were getting earlier. That marshmallow, graham cracker, chocolate, that s'mores, whatever. I really, really, really like that. But I'm a very big fan of Old Forester, and so having said that, anything that's got that cherry in the flavor profile, oh yeah, I'm gonna latch onto that heartbeat for sure. So very good stuff, Kentucky Par. Very good stuff.
Yeah, full disclosure, we were going back and forth right before we start recording, trying to figure out what this pours on me we were going to pick for this episode, and we didn't have it identified until about 5 minutes before hitting record, and I am very, very pleased that we landed on this one. This I've never had before, and this is fantastic. I don't think I've ever seen this on the shelf, to be honest, but if I do, I will be buying this at full MSRP, maybe even a little bit more. I like this a lot.
I've seen it at a bar, and like you said, that simplistic label on it, I thought it was like some cheap, like almost Kirkland style, off-brand thing, and then I saw on the like they had the pour list or whatever, and I'm going through, and it was like $30 or whatever it was. I'm like, oh, so I looked it up, and it was $100 and something bottle. I was like, oh, that's not what I thought it was. But at that time, I didn't try because I didn't know anything about it, and wasn't looking to spend 30 or whatever, $50, whatever it was per pour. It just caught my eye being just a white label with some red letters and whatever on it. And
yeah, it's funny. So I'm looking at it on winesearcher.com. Take that for what you will, given the name and what we're talking about. But it says it's $32 for $7.50, where, anything past that, Sippin' Bourbon has it at $2.25. Cask Cartel is not something that you can base it on because they're ridiculous.
They're secondary.
That's $1,000 on there. The Bottle Shop, I thought they had it listed. They don't. Peacock Wine and Spirits has it for $164. Send Gifts has it for $98. So $98.98. Green Meadow, Tennessee. Well, greenmeadowtn.com for $129, which I think is probably the closest to. But I recall that whenever I bought it, I had seen it several times for about $104, and when I got it for $80, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab that. So, and I over the course of telling my little story here, I remember where I bought it, so I'm gonna have to go back in there and look and see if they've got more. Because that little store, the stuff that they've got out on the other side of the counter is all good, really good whiskey and really well priced. And then you look behind the counter, and that's where they got their Pappies and their Weller lineup and all that stuff, and it's all secondary, laughable prices. But everything they've got on the other side that you can grab without needing an associate is really well priced. So I'm gonna have to go back in there and look and see if they've got another bottle of this.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that this is probably a label where you're, I guess, uneducated liquor store owner. I hate to use that term, but where they have, the Weller Antique behind the counter for like $1.99.
Right.
Might have this on the shelf at what they paid for it because they don't know what the fuck it is.
Right.
And so I think that's what you want to look out for. I have a couple stores like that around me where I can find some gems that I know are gems, but it's not on that Buffalo Trace allocated list, so they don't have it in their glass case. And they got, regular Buffalo Trace 750 for, $59.99 behind the counter, but this might be on the shelf for $99. And This is a bottle that I think you might be able to find at MSRP or for a steal. It definitely at least not marked up at a store like that just knows what's on the allocated list, and this might not make it on the allocated list just because it's not necessarily allocated. It's just like hard to less produced, I should say. And so when they're checking off what they want, because we sold our allotment of Fireball or Wheatley this month, these are the bottles we want if you have them. This might just show up and they don't even realize what they got on such a special bourbon that they just stick it on the shelf at their 20% markup or whatever they paid for it. You might be able to grab this off the shelf and they don't even know what they have.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm looking at the story on the website, and it kind of ties into what we were talking about earlier when I said that Rebel may have been distilled at the Stitzel-Weller distillery because Kentucky Par is the name of this whiskey, and it harkens back to the Kentucky Parfait Company, which was founded by Frank H. Stitzel at 102 West Main Street in Louisville in 1913. And then in 1917, C.S. Radford III, I guess, is the guy that started this company. His grandfather, his great-great-grandfather, Walter A. Radford, purchased the Kentucky Parfait Company. And then it's been a family business ever since. And at some point, they decided to launch a distillery just after Prohibition. It doesn't give a year. And then Kentucky Parfait Company was renamed the Radford Company after World War II. And what did it say? Just a second. So his grandfather succeeded as president in 1965. Says, after finding a dusty pint of Kentucky Par in my father's desk, which I've heard this story, I thought it would be great fun to bring the brand back to market. With the help of two lifelong friends, David Gibbs and Jim Thaler, we've done just that. Our first new batch of Kentucky Par was crafted by one of Kentucky's oldest and most reputable distillers, naturally aged for 12 years in deep charred American oak barrels and bottled non-chill filtered at 100 proof. And then it goes on to talk about the 4/2020 batch. So every bottle in our first new batch of Kentucky Par carries the date 4/2020 on the neck label, which was the month we pulled the barrels from the Rick House. If you don't see a bottle of Kentucky Par straight bourbon whiskey on the top shelf of your local watering hole, ask them to order a bottle for you, which I wholeheartedly endorse. And that's that. That's a quick rundown. There's a more in-depth that I just pulled little excerpts from here and there so that you don't have to listen to me drone on. But good stuff. It's really good whiskey. Again, the simplistic label is fantastic. This little label right here, it swirls all the way around the neck, and it looks like a tax stamp, though it's not. It is what it is. It's whiskey in a bottle, and I don't think that they were trying to portray this to be anything other than what it is, which again is whiskey in a bottle. So I would highly recommend seeking out a bottle, especially if you can get one for a decent price. So we don't endorse the secondary market in any fashion. So, but I think that pretty much wraps up this episode of Bourbon Beards and Belvederes. So be sure to check out these products. You can find Rebel products at rebelbourbon.com. You can find the Old Fitgerald at heavenhill.com/old-fitgerald.php. You can find the beard products or the Longhairs products at thelonghairs.us. That's THELONGHAIRS.us. That's going to get you to their website for all of the products that Paul and Jerry were so enthusiastically talking about. And I'm sure that you can find out things about their charity work and things like that on the website as well. And then you can find these cigars at warpedcigars.com. They've got a huge lineup of cigars that we're going to have to get our hands on and try because
I think they got like 13 totals.
Yeah, it's something. I'm not counting them all, but it's quite. Yeah, it's 13. I did count them all. Great cigar. Just didn't work out too well with the old Fitz. So
it's still smoking great. I just wish it was a little easier to draw from.
Same.
Great smoke. Still an even burn line. I've had to relight it, I think, 3 times now. But burn line's still even. Great smoke. The pepper spice has died down a lot. More leather, earthy notes coming out of it. Every once in a while, you get a little bit of like a nuttiness to it. But it's just a tight draw. My only downfall for it.
Yeah. So great products, great cause. So make sure to check out that charity. And as always, support your local veterans and active duty military members, first responders. They're all out there giving their all for us. So least we can do is give a little bit back to them. And be on the lookout for that giveaway that we're going to have coming up fairly soon. We're going to try to do that in November, I think, is what we settled on. It's going to be some awesome products from Lit Beard Co. An awesome 150 count humidor and a great bottle from 10th Mountain Whiskey. And be on the lookout for that and the details on how to win those. And again, support children. The world's nuts. And, the most vulnerable amongst us need our help. So let's be sure to look out for them as well. Enjoy your cigars and your whiskey responsibly. Until next week, cheers. Bourbon Beards and Belvederes is produced by Adam Bolden, Paul Rousseau, and Jerry Ullman. Editing by Adam Bolden. Music by Ryan Johnson. You can find the links to all our social media accounts on our website at bourbonbeardsandbelvederes.com. As always, enjoy your bourbon and cigars responsibly. Cheers.